So coming in at number 5, I have Vi, Matron of Miracles. This card's pretty relevant right now, obviously, because Bloom's pretty prevalent in the meta. Being able to utilize your tokens for an extra attack that turn while also not being able to be targeted by spells' abilities is pretty great. And also not having to expel any gear from your discard zone to allow that to happen, you just essentially have it happen for free, is really nice. So I believe this is going to be added into Liam Kite decks. It's probably only going to be a one of because you can search it with Vabriel's Final Gift anyway. But I do think it's definitely something that gets instantly added as soon as Conviction is released. So coming in at number 4, I'm kind of cheating here as I'm using 2 cards, but they kind of go together. And it's actually the Legendaries in this expansion. So it's Yuri, Direwolf of the Garden, and True King's Greatsword. I really like these cards. Yuri is an okay card. 4 cost 2,500 Brawler is definitely not a bad ability and definitely not bad power for that cost. And then the True King's Greatsword, being able to equip it to it, is definitely what makes it playable. The 2 decks that I definitely see these cards being played in is Liam Kite, maybe, because of the gear, but definitely I think it can find its way into Aragon. The Brawler ability in Aragon is definitely needed to get rid of those pesky Bone Scavengers. And then also, something to note is Yuri is kind of a 1 card out to Bloom and 2 tokens, because you can equip the True King's Greatsword to Yuri whenever it comes out, attack the Bloom, and then whenever they Liam to try and boost up Bloom and make tokens. After you destroy the Bloom, you can then use the 2 counters that you got on your True King's Greatsword to take care of the last 2 tokens. So it's kind of like a 1 card out. The reason Yuri's pretty good in Aragon is because you can bring it out with Hoenna. So it's a great choice to bring it out with Hoenna and then kind of control the board. So I do like Yuri and Hoenna for sure, and I think the True King's Greatsword might have a home in Liam Kite, but that's kind of up in the air right now. So coming in at number 3, I have Lloyd Cosmic Enigma. I really like this card in the side deck right off the bat, but I also see it being a tech choice in the main for a couple decks for sure. It's very good against Jamail or Jillian for sure. Any kind of control deck this card is going to come in against. It's very nice. Calling Water for this Arrive ability is great. You know, it gets around everything then. It gets around Mizu. It gets around Phantasmal Storm. It gets around Ancient Serpent's Breath. It gets around Mayu. It gets around Ayakuma Wavebender. Pretty much everything that Blue has to offer, this can pretty much stop it in its tracks. So I really like this card. I think it's a card that's definitely needed in the game for sure. What we've seen is control, even with Bloom around, is still very prevalent. And if the game maybe gets a little slower after set 2, this is definitely going to be needed, especially if the format drifts back more into a control-based format. So coming in at number 2, I'm kind of cheating again. I'm using both Ashbournes as number 2, mainly because they have, similar effects where if your opponent plays something, they get some kind of benefit from it. Now, I know the benefits are different, but they play along those lines where they pretty much punish your opponent for playing anything. I think Ashbourne Conjurer is probably a little better right now, but I could definitely see the Shaman being more relevant in later sets. Who knows what set 3 is going to bring us. So right now, the Conjurer is better, but Shaman definitely has some playability because it can search out things like Entreat the Blazewalkers. But going forward, especially after Conviction, Red turns into a decent control deck because of these 2 cards. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what these can do in the meta, and I'm excited to build, some kind of Red deck revolving around these cards. So coming in at number 1, I have Shard Spider. I really like this card. This card's fantastic. It's very relevant in today's meta already because it's a little more aggro. So you're actually going to meet the conditions of this card to bring it out for free, sometimes as early as turn 2. The Arrive ability is definitely relevant. It stalls any kind of aggro strategy. It's great in control. It's also great in aggro because you can bring this out and tap a guardian unit and then it won't untap, so you don't have to worry about it for 2 turns. I can't say enough about this card. I think it's something that's going to be relevant for a long time, and I would pick up 3 copies for sure. And also the fact that you can bring this back with Yami is cool. So, but yeah, so that's my top 5 list of what I think is going to be relevant out of this new expansion. I do think these cards are going to be pretty relevant, so I'm excited for this expansion for sure. So let me know what you guys think, if you agree with my list or not, in the comment section below. So as always, like, comment, subscribe. Zeppelin out.